I was doing a barrel roll, not because I look like a barrel, but because I wanted to stop, drop, and roll like I'm on fire, just like this country, which is on fire from the standpoint of heat.
So Hasan Piker just demolished Trump's latest desperate attempt to rewrite what happened during the second assassination attempt. This is about more than just pathetic damage control. It's about how Trump embodies everything toxic about American politics. Let's break down why this analysis is so spot on.
What happened is I meant to fall. Many people are saying it was very impressive how athletic I am. As you know, I'm 220 pounds and 6'4". Very athletic. I don't waste any of my battery.
This connects perfectly to Trump's lifelong obsession with claiming superhuman physical abilities. Remember the doctor's letter claiming he'd be the healthiest president ever? Or his claim that exercise depletes your finite energy? The man literally believes his body is a battery that shouldn't be wasted.
He's like, I wanted to scope out the scene. I wanted to identify the shooter if he was around and maybe deal with him myself.
The cognitive dissonance here is staggering. Trump simultaneously claims he's brave enough to hunt down an armed assassin while also being terrified of stairs, ramps, and umbrellas. This fantasy reflects his complete detachment from physical reality and personal limitations.
Dude, he's such a perfect American president, okay? This is literally like, he's a couch guy. You know those guys who sit on the couch and engage in armchair quarterbacking or armchair general behavior?
This couch guy analysis is brilliant because it captures Trump's entire worldview. He's the ultimate armchair quarterback who's never actually played the game. Every crisis becomes an opportunity for him to insert himself as the action hero he's never been.
Like the average American who just sits there with his crusty boxers and is like, oh, dude, if I was in that situation, I would have behaved totally differently. Like, he's doing that right now. He's like, yeah, I was looking around. I wanted to monitor the situation. I wanted to see where the shooter was. Maybe throw some mean looks his way. Maybe deal with it myself.
What's terrifying is that Trump genuinely believes he could intimidate an armed assassin through sheer force of personality. This isn't just narcissism. It's the same delusional thinking that led him to believe he could overturn an election through Twitter tantrums.
I mean, it's 60 Minutes, so it's expected. You know, this is Israel's favorite news broadcaster. But this is really up. I mean, this guy's a straight up fascist, man.
The Ellison family's purchase of CBS after critical Israel coverage shows exactly how media capture works. When billionaires can buy entire networks to silence criticism, platforms like 60 Minutes become propaganda outlets rather than journalism. That's the context for this softball interview.
It is funny that the liberal terrorist was saying how much he loves the troops and cops. He can't even, in the moment of a suicidal mass shooting attempt, conceive the idea that the crimes of empire had anyone else to blame than Trump. I mean, that's why he's like, that's the point that I was trying to make about like liberalism being like a rudderless movement in general.
This hits at the core failure of liberal resistance politics. Instead of analyzing why someone becomes radicalized enough to attempt assassination, they focus purely on individual pathology. It's the same thinking that treats mass shootings as mental health issues while ignoring systemic causes.
And maybe that's the reason why you're seeing this kind of thing happen, where they just legitimately think Trump is not a symptom of the problem, but instead the only problem. I don't think these guys do any systemic critique whatsoever, where they just like truly believe Trump is like a singularly repulsive person who has single-handedly rotted these institutions to his core.
Exactly right. Liberal Democrats spent 4 years treating Trump as an aberration rather than the logical endpoint of American conservatism. This individualized approach prevents any serious reckoning with the institutions and ideologies that produced him in the first place.
But Trump is also, in many respects, the logical conclusion of the place our systems were heading towards anyway. He is just an extension of the Republican Party. That's part of the reason why he was able to successfully reorient American politics to suit his vision.
Trump didn't corrupt the Republican Party. He revealed what it always was underneath the polite rhetoric. The nativism, authoritarianism, and corporate capture were already there. He just stripped away the pretense and gave voters permission to embrace their worst impulses openly.
It's because he was a decent enough room reader who looked at where the Republican Party was heading and just accelerated its process.
This is key. Trump succeeded because he understood what Republican voters actually wanted, not what party elites claimed they wanted. He read the room correctly and gave them the cruelty, grievance, and white nationalism they'd been craving for decades.
You can't have a Trump-like figure unless you have a feckless neoliberal order that is refusing to identify real issues, real economic struggles that are causing a lot of anxiety, causing people to look for alternatives that are chaotic. And therein lies the blame that liberals also have, right?
Neoliberalism created the material conditions for Trumpism by hollowing out working-class communities while telling people to retrain for the knowledge economy. When technocratic solutions fail, people turn to charismatic authoritarians promising simple answers to complex problems.
60 Minutes is the reason why the Ellisons bought CBS. They were mad that 60 Minutes had done one fucking critical coverage on Israel and America aligning with Israel and doing war crimes in Gaza. That's all it took for the Redstones to sell CBS and 60 Minutes. And they did that. And now the entire purpose of 60 Minutes is to do regime propaganda.
The CBS sale perfectly demonstrates how pro-Israel interests capture American media. One critical segment about Gaza was enough for the Ellisons to buy the entire network. Now 60 Minutes serves Israeli propaganda interests rather than holding power accountable.
13-minute interview, he spent like approximately 2 to 4 minutes defending how he didn't eat shit, actually, and he meant to do that. Fucking awesome.
Spending nearly a third of a major network interview defending your physical response to an assassination attempt reveals profound psychological pathology. This isn't normal political spin. It's the behavior of someone completely disconnected from reality and obsessed with image management.
Like, the fact that he got as close as he did is reason alone to question whether or not Secret Service is doing a decent job. What do you mean he was incompetent too? Yeah, he's a California resist lib who like purchased his first weapon. What are you talking about? He did a Naruto run. His plan was to do a Naruto run and book it to the ballroom.
The Naruto run detail is absurd, but the serious point stands. Secret Service allowed someone with minimal training to get within rifle range of a presidential candidate. That's either gross incompetence or deliberate negligence, both of which demand accountability.
He never mentioned Trump's name, but we all know who he was referencing when he called him a rape file antichrist, which, by the way, again, don't agree with the methods, but he is not wrong. You know what I mean? If the Shooter's Manifesto said water is wet, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I guess it's wrong now. Shooter's Manifesto reports sky is blue. I'm not going to be like, nope, it's not. It's not blue.
What did security?
Here come all the nerds, by the way. As soon as I say water is wet, here, yeah, technically, technically water is not wet. Actually, water is not wet.
This intellectual honesty is crucial in political analysis. You can acknowledge factual accuracy in someone's critique while completely rejecting their methods. Separating truth from tactics prevents political tribalism from distorting our understanding of reality.
That's why we need the ballroom and a third term, maybe a fourth, so I can build a ballroom on top of the ballroom.
The Secret Service agent, I spoke to him, he had a bulletproof vest on. Unbelievable.
He's okay.
Oh, he's 100%. Yeah, no, he was 100%. He didn't want to go to the hospital.
Well, I know the White House Correspondents Association very much appreciates you going last night.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Bro, we're not going to make it.
These jokes about third and fourth terms aren't accidents. They're authoritarian trial balloons designed to normalize constitutional violations. Trump consistently uses humor to test boundaries before crossing them. Venezuela and Hungary followed similar patterns of democratic backsliding.